I think, Renee, we wait just a few more minutes for people
Yes,
to
indeed,
join.
indeed. Yeah. It's 4 p.m. right now, so probably some people will arrive a little bit later in the room. So let's wait a couple of minutes.
Luckily, we span almost all the time zones over the world. It's I think it's 7 PST, 4 CET.
Yeah.
So with people joining even from across the ocean, welcome.
Yeah. So let's wait 2 minutes and then let's kick off then.
Yeah. Yeah, I still see people joining, which is good. What do you think, Renee? Is it almost time? Let's give
Almost.
it.
Let's
Let's
wait
give
a
it
little
10
bit.
seconds more. Yeah,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
we're in a bit of a countdown mode.
Okay. Okay, let's start. Good everyone, and welcome to today's IceCat webinar. My name is René Roosendaal, and together with my colleague Nathalie Torst, I'll be hosting this session for the toy industry. We also have my colleague Lucas with us today. He'll be monitoring the chat and collecting all your questions. So please feel free to ask anything during the presentation. We'll address your questions at the end. Today we're going to explore the world of AI in the toy industry. This is not a technical deep dive, it's a practical walkthrough of how IceCat already applies AI today. From smarter translations and enhanced content to AI search and agent-driven commerce. We'll guide you through what's possible now and what's coming next. Let me begin with a quick introduction to IceCat. Our core business is product content syndication. We help brands and partners share product information quickly, consistently, and efficiently. Today, IceCat works with more than 150 toy brands and supports hundreds of toy content users, retailers, distributors, and wholesalers in dozens of languages worldwide. We're seeing strong growth because partners want to receive and distribute content in a simple and consistent way. With IceCat, brands, retailers, and distributors can manage product information in one place and share it directly with their entire network, saving time and improving quality. And today we'll focus on the most important AI applications inside IceCat. Before we deep dive into the tools, let's briefly talk about artificial intelligence, AI, and what we mean by that. AI is technology that performs tasks normally requiring human intelligence, such as understanding text, generating descriptions, or translating content. We distinguish two main types: generative AI creates new content like text, images, or descriptions, for example, ChatGPT and Copilot, and agentic AI that performs autonomous actions such as automatically updating or distributing product information. This is on our roadmap. At IceCat, we apply generative AI today for translations, alternative text, and multilingual enhanced content in IceCat Brand Cloud and IceCat Studio. And now Nathalie will show you what that looks like in practice.
Yes, thank you. In the IceCat Brand Cloud, our back office, brands manage their product information, and this data can be entered by the brands themselves, or IceCat editors, or it could be imported automatically through integrations with the brand's own systems. What's great is that in Brand Cloud, we have AI for translations and alternative texts, and this allows brands to quickly and efficiently create multilingual content, for example, for markets like Scandinavia, where local product information is often not yet available. And thanks to this AI functionality, product data becomes faster to update, less prone to errors, and it'll be easier to share with your partners. In addition to IceCat Brand Cloud, we also have IceCat Studio. And in iSCAD Studio, brands and suppliers can easily create enhanced content such as our iSCAD product stories or Amazon A+ or A+ premium content. With the help of AI, you can generate content in multiple languages, including images in which the text is automatically adapted for language. This means you no longer need to create separate files for each market. The AI does the heavy lifting for you, which then results in faster content creation, consistent branding, and a huge time saver. And in the next video, I'll show you what that looks like in Studio. This is iSCAD Studio, the backend to all our product stories. On the stories, we'll find the story or stories that we can edit. When we click on Edit, on the left-hand side, we'll find all the available modules. This particular story is set up as an A+ premium story, but it can also be displayed on the product pages of other retailers. You can simply drag and drop modules to build or adjust your own story. It's very user-friendly. In addition, Studio also has a sandbox editor. This is essentially a built-in mini Photoshop. In the sandbox editor, you can create assets from scratch. You can add all kinds of different images, create layers, overlay text, and also lock layers. The great advantage is that these images in the sandbox aren't treated as fixed pictures within the iSCAD Studio environment. They're editable textual elements. Thus, AI can translate the text in the image or create an alternative text. This means that, as you can see here with the sandbox edited image, you can also generate alternative text for the image and apply it without opening the sandbox editor again. This is useful, for example, if you want to use the same story for a different retailer, but with a slightly modified exclusive version. You can also translate an entire story in a couple of clicks. In this example, we're on the product page of an Italian retailer that doesn't have enhanced content for this item yet. The content is currently only available in English, but we want it in Italian. Luckily, in Studio, you can simply copy the entire story. We set the language to Italian, and then we go to AI Assist. There, we enable Translate Module Text and optionally alternative text for module images. Then we click on Copy. iSCAD Studio will now copy the entire story and translate all the available textual elements. Under Status, it says Copying, and once it says In Progress, the story is ready to be edited again. We now find that the entire story has been translated to Italian, so all the text in the images, as well as the headers in the carousel. And as we scroll down, we'll find that there's no more English present in this story. When you click on one of the assets, we'll also see that Studio has generated an alternative text that we can apply simply from this Studio environment instead of opening the sandbox again. If we want to make a change to one of the assets, we can simply open the sandbox editor and make any changes necessary. For example, in Italian they might need more words than they do in English, thus the alignment of our text on the asset might not be perfect. Luckily, the sandbox editor does come with alignment guides that help us align all elements on the asset perfectly. Once we're satisfied with our story, the most important thing is that we publish it. We go back to the asset page, and at the top we can see that the current status of the story is in progress. At the bottom we can also see that it hasn't been published yet to the iSCAD network. We go to Submit and click on Map, and then we click on Complete under Submit again. The final step is to approve the page to be published to the iSCAD network. Once that is done, it only takes a moment for it to be published to the retailer's webpage. With iSCAD Studio, you can create engaging, enhanced content that truly brings your products to life. Every description, visual, and detail works together to capture shoppers' attention. AI makes the process faster, more efficient, and easy to scale across multiple languages and markets. This lets you grow your presence in international e-commerce and showcase your products consistently wherever your customers shop.
Thank you, Natalie. A major shift is happening. Consumers no longer always start a search on Google. Many now start in AI search platforms such as ChatGPT or Copilot. Imagine someone asking, I'm looking for a gift for an 8-year-old who loves dinosaurs. The AI immediately suggests products, compares them, and gives buying advice, all without visiting a web shop. Nearly half of consumers already use AI during their orientation phase. This fundamentally changes how products are discovered and creates huge opportunities for brands with well-structured product data. This is the foundation of agent-driven commerce. For many years, the main focus was on SEO, search engine optimization, meaning we try to make product pages rank as high as possible in Google search results. But now we're moving toward GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. Instead of optimizing for search engines, we optimize for AI systems such as ChatGPT or Copilot, systems that generate their own answers. Analysis shows that 3 factors are crucial: well-structured available product data, expert and user reviews, content written in natural, human-friendly language. The better your data meets this criteria, the more likely your products appear in AI-generated results. And that's exactly where iSCAD helps, preparing brands and retailers to be geo-ready. AI chatbots don't shop the way people do. They have no preferences, no emotions, and no brand loyalty. They rely purely on the quality of data they receive. If your product information is incomplete or unstructured, the AI will simply not recommend your product. We are no longer only selling to people, we are selling to machines that make decisions on behalf of people. That's why complete, structured, AI-readable product information is more important than ever. The chatbot of tomorrow may decide what goes on the Christmas tree. We're also moving toward a world where the entire purchase is completely inside the chatbot. The consumer asks a question, the AI recommends products, the consumer says yes, and the transaction is completed instantly without ever opening a web shop. For brands and retailers, the message is simple. If your product is not visible to the AI agent, you're not part of the buying journey. This brings us to MCP, the Model Context Protocol, and why iSCAD has adopted. MCP is a new standard that allows AI models like ChatGPT or Copilot to securely and directly access external data sources. Via MCP, iSCAD becomes a trusted data source inside AI systems. When a consumer asks a question, the AI retrieves up-to-date brand-consistent product information straight from the iSCAD database. This makes iSCAD an active part of the AI ecosystem. A great example of this shift is Amazon Rufus, Amazon's new AI shopping assistant. Rufus is built directly into the search bar. You can simply type something like, I'm looking for an educational toy for a 6-year-old who loves dinosaurs. Rufus instantly generates suggestions, comparisons, and explanations, all powered by AI. Shopping becomes a conversation instead of a search process. A conversation instead of a search process. And once again, this highlights the importance of rich structured product data. With MCP, brands can even deploy their own iSCAD AI assistant, fully aligned with the product data and brand identity. This assistant can identify products, autofill product details, compare items, recommend accessories, answer support questions, provide manual, asset, and images. Your product information becomes an intelligent, interactive knowledge source. You can already try an MCP connection yourself, completely free. Just use Claude's AI platform. Connect iSCAD, and you can start talking to an AI that supports MCP. The first step toward advanced AI commerce is simple: a solid foundation of well-structured product data. No AI system can make autonomous recommendations without reliable, standardized information. This is exactly what iSCAD provides: rich, consistent, high-quality product information ready for future AI-driven commerce. Everything starts with data quality. Today, we've shown you a short overview of our key AI services, but iSCAD offers much more. We also provide PIM systems with integrated AI features, enabling brands, distributors, and retailers to manage and enrich their product information even more efficiently. We also work on an extended AI roadmap with many new features launching in the coming months. We share more during the London Toy Fair and the Spielwarenmesse in Nuremberg. We hope to see you there. We're also hosting a dedicated webinar on Amazon content optimization on December 4th at 3 p.m. set, including a live demo and a real case study. We are joined by the product owner, content and syndication at Verzuni, global responsible for Philips domestic appliances. If Amazon is part of your strategy, this session will be extremely valuable. If you want to explore AI at iSCAD, you're welcome to reach out for a one-on-one session. As promised, Lucas has gathered all your questions, so let's go to them now.
Yes, I have a question here about how do you start as a brand? What's basically the first step? You said something about structuring. Maybe you can elaborate a bit more on that.
Yeah, sure. So in iSCAD, we have, let's say, a taxonomy that is standardized. So yeah, and as AI agents are looking for structured data, I think with the taxonomy of iSCAD, you can fill in, or let's say we can fill in your data so that we can structure data so that you are, let's say, searchable or findable for AI agents.
Do we have a lot of toy brands already here? Is a question of somebody in the chat.
Yeah, indeed. Now we have, at this moment, we have almost 150 toy brands from the big ones. So think about Lego, but also smaller ones. So it's a mix of 150 toy brands that are, work together with iSCAD, and they also sponsoring the data, what means that the data is free accessible for the users of iSCAD. So you can register for free and you can retrieve the information for free.
I think those were the main two questions we had in the chat currently. I don't know, there's some people there, maybe there's some other questions. I see somebody's typing here. Lorena, are you planning to establish some kind of feed for OpenAI? That's a question. You want to answer that one? Shall I answer it, René?
Yeah, you can do that, Lucas.
Yeah, if you look at OpenAI, what you see is that they've opened up their feed there for basically the product feed and the ability to actually close a deal. Those are things we are looking at in establishing, and we're really looking forward to with you, Lorena, to examine which type of opportunity you would see and how we could help you out there. It's early days. They started off, OpenAI has started off the program in the US. So I think in the next step, they will go into Europe as well. So for the US, we can work together. For Europe, OpenAI is still scheduling that. So I hope that answers your question. And we have Christoph also typing. It's a long question. Yes. Can you please share the presentation so that we can discuss internally before testing the iSCAD MCP? Natalie, do you have an answer on sharing the presentation?
Yes. So after the webinar is over, you're going to be sent the presentation as is, so you can rewatch it at any time. And then you also have the ability to scan the QR code again and try out the MCP as suggested by René.
Yeah, but we can share the presentation later on as well to Christoph.
Yeah.
Yes.
If possible.
Yeah. Also, Christoph, you can test the iSCAD MCP already because it's just a few clicks and a demo account, and you can even try it. I tried it myself, and I'm not a technical guy, and I was able to make it work. So if you have, for example, Claude, which is one of these AI tools, it's pretty easy to set it up in a way. You can test it at home, or you can test it at work with a free account and just see what it is, play around with it. But we can also work with you, Christoph, if you have any questions in a follow-up meeting, if you want to. Any other questions? We have Mark Foster. What implications do you see for Google Shopping or Amazon AdWords marketing campaigns? Do I pass this one to you, René, or Natalie?
For Google, we have of course the connection with Google, so we are pushing the content to Google Shopping, but it's more for the AdWords part. I think we also explained in the presentation that we see that a lot of consumers, 50% already starting the orientation phase in Google, and not longer in Google, but they're going into to chatbots and asking questions. I do it myself as well. If you're looking for a product, I'm starting not anymore in Google. So I think it will have less effect indeed, but I think still Google will be an important part of it. Amazon as well. Amazon has reviews, of course. But I expect that that a lot will move to the AI agents, where people start searching for products.
Yeah, Mark, it's also OpenAI versus Google versus Amazon. They all have their pros and cons. If you look for a consumer point of view, you see within Amazon, it's pretty easy. You trust Amazon, so you want to do the fulfillment in there, and they know your address and they have your payment details. If you have OpenAI, consumers are a bit hesitant to actually share their contact details and their personal details with OpenAI because they don't know where it ends up at. So you see, and with Google, you see that Google is making a huge leapfrog currently with the AI, which is integrated in the Google search already. And you see some Altman of OpenAI giving some warnings that there may be some headwinds for OpenAI because of the deep pockets Google has. So that's it's still early days. But it's a really interesting period to see what is actually going to happen. And for us also, every week there's new developments. So it's for us, it's also keeping on top and moving with what's happening and making sure that we get the most out of it for you. But the thing we know for certain is that it will take structured product data. So that's the early step Renee also mentioned. Thank you, Mark, for your question. And any other questions so far? I think this is the last one. Renee, do you want to close down with some final remarks?
Yeah, sure. So So first of all, thank you for joining, and we are happy to meet you also at London Toy Fair at Spielwarenmesse, and I wish you a lot of success the last month of the year. Hope you sell a lot of toy products, and we are happy to contribute to the success next year. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and we're on countdown for tomorrow, eh? Black Friday.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.